Snow is money for Ely. White gold.
On today's show, we celebrate winter on ice. Up first, we hike into the deep north woods in search of fishing nirvana.
20 feet.
Too bad we forgot the gas.
It's a really bad sign.
Here, we're here. Let's do it.
We hang with the Ladies of Strikemaster.
All right, here we go.
And the story behind the coolest vintage sled race around.
Northern Beer and your Minnesota Select GMC dealers present... There you go. Due North Outdoors. Here are your guides, Bill Shirk and Laura Sher.
Welcome to the show. We're glad you tracked us down due north.
Today's first story proves not every adventure goes as planned.
You can certainly say that again.
All right, I will. Not every adventure goes as planned.
You can say that again.
Okay, snow. You gotta love it. Especially if you live up in far northern Minnesota.
Snow is money for Ely. White gold. Hopefully we can find a different route.
Steve Lampman's Ely business depends on the white stuff. Okay, to our story. It's January and I'm going fishing with this guy.
Oh yeah.
Buddy Chris Morgul of Northland Tackle. We're headed into the woods to one of Steve's hideaway cabins.
You pull into the parking lot, and Steve pulls in with this monster-sized old wooden sled behind the snowmobile.
Don't forget the important part.
They just load up all your gear and head out to the cabins, and you're kind of left behind, gearing up. We're going to go in on cross-country skis and snowshoes and just kind of take our time.
Walleye Woods, here we come.
We've got about an hour hike through piles of fresh snow out to what's called the Lark Lake Cabin. Halfway out, a surprise.
It's not very often you see a mailbox in the woods. Oh.
Chocolate.
There better be some left. That's just awesome.
The other good thing out here, having skis and snowshoes.
They're great. You know, your feet aren't falling through and you can stay afloat a little bit.
Well, that's one adventure done.
Steve's got our gear unloaded.
There's wood in the little bin right there.
And the cabin already warmed up.
We'll get your drinking water for you, which I put in there. That's all drinking water there.
See, this cabin sits on 120 acres of Steve's land right out on the edge of the boundary waters.
We bought it and we thought, well, we'll build a log cabin and we'll see if anybody shows up.
Yep, people love trekking to the cabin. So much so, Steve expanded with 4 more cabins.
It's a different vacation. I mean, it's not for everybody. It's a remote cabin in the woods that people can experience for a weekend or a week.
We're out here just one night, so we need to find fish. A good question. One that will eventually lead to our demise. You'll see. Chris and I drill. We break down Triangle Lake.
20 feet.
After all, that's how you find the fish, right?
Whoever catches first fish does not have to do dishes. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
We set a couple of tip-ups and get to jigging.
Just right there, Chris. You just will not eat.
You gonna catch one soon here?
An hour in, no fish.
Story of my life. It's driving me nuts because everywhere we go, every hole we drop into, we can see there are fish in there. And they'll come up and they just kind of refuse us and go back down.
Fish. That's a little guy.
Oh, fish.
Looks like you're doing the dishes.
Great. I'm going to have dishpan hands.
Then goes the first tip-up.
I could hear the tip-up going.
The flake didn't even pop. How's that?
It's maybe the most lethargic pike I've ever seen in my life. He didn't have enough energy to even pull it.
Soon enough, darkness drives us off the ice and into our cabin.
We're not having fish tonight.
That's a sad looking pan of food right there.
Well, tonight's fishing was slow. That's kind of the bad news in all this. The good, we settle into one of northern Minnesota's coolest little remote cabins. Come sunup,
Well, we're starting to get a little desperate.
trouble.
Okay, so we get up and we realize that we're super low on gas. We've punched so many dang holes around this lake trying to find the fish that we're down to just a tiny little cup in the bottom of the auger.
I think we've got enough for, what'd you predict, 6 holes?
I think we got 6 holes.
I'm nervous. Stupid, but I'm nervous. It's a really bad sign. On.
We realized after the first hole we weren't going to be able to drill 6 holes.
Eventually we ran out of gas, so to speak. You know what? It's just the way it goes sometimes. We'll be back. We'll try again. That's why we love fishing.
If we had a little bit more time and a little bit more energy and a little bit more gas, I think we could find them. They're here. They're here somewhere.
We can't wait to get the jig back down there to get the next big fish.
Coming up, we hit the ice with a couple of ice angling's hottest sticks.
Thank you, little guy.
Due North Outdoors is brought to you by Joe's Sporting Goods, Strikemaster, Aluma Trailers, and by Radco. Due North Outdoors is presented by Northern Beer.
All right, ladies, listen up. This next story is for you. It's the tale behind some of the fishing world's biggest names on ice. Names like Holly, Shelley, and Kim.
Uh-oh, newsflash. I see red up on Lake Winnie.
We're here. Let's do it.
See what I mean?
All right, we arrived.
Before most folks are out of bed, these ladies are already, well, fired up. Meet the Ladies of Strikemaster.
Can't wait to get a line in the water.
Hole drilling, lip ripping, and ladies who don't take ice lightly.
All of us are really serious about it. We get in that hole and we're jigging and we can't wait to see what comes up. We can't wait to get the jig back down there to get the next big fish.
Shelley Holland, she's the ice fishing guide.
The Ladies of Strikemaster is to show that us girls can be independent and we can enjoy a beautiful day of fishing.
Over there sits the club's newest member.
Today we have Greta Baker, who is a young angler. She's just 14.
I've been fishing since I was 6. I've just gone from there.
And Kim Leonard, she runs High Banks Resort and hands out the local fishing reports.
Sometimes they're a little reluctant to take my advice, but if they do, usually they're pretty successful.
Oh, and over there, Holly Chow.
And she's Holly, that's all you can say.
Well, she's a guide from Winnipeg.
I think I'm the oldest one of the crew, so I can honestly take that honor.
And for sure, she's the smooth talker.
Come on, baby. Come to Mom. Come to Granny. Come on.
Okay, so actually, they're all talkers once the fish bite.
You gotta love it.
Oh, this one's getting really cold.
It's a beautiful keeper. Thank you, little guy. Now, could you go down and tell your other brother that we need to have well, I'll take him for dinner. My treat.
But don't be fooled by the soft talk.
Look at, there's a huge mark there. That's got to be a big one.
These ladies fish as hard as anyone we've ever documented on ice.
They're willing to tackle the elements and conquer what needs to be conquered to make those fish come out of the hole.
That's why Strikemaster signed them up.
It was awesome to be invited to be one of the Strikemaster girls and be with these other great women fisher persons.
I've caught probably 10. Here's a keeper. This is outstanding. Ice fishing is an absolute beautiful way to spend the day, and it is just so incredibly relaxing.
I'm thinking about the next one.
This one's probably the biggest one yet. Oh, isn't he adorable? Look at him. Aww.
But here's the thing, they can fish, but they're still human.
Did you lose him, Kim?
Oh, no.
Get him?
No, didn't get him. The one that got away, right?
Missed him again.
Oh, yeah. I like... Oh!
Oh, finally, silence. Well, except for inside the snow bear.
I'll send his big brother over your way, Greta.
I'm used to being in the lodge, so it's nice to have the cover here, the snow bear.
So it goes on the ice. And once we eventually lose our son,
I used them for the first time for the last couple days for gills and stuff like that.
the Ladies of Strikemaster retire to the kitchen. And no, that's not a stereotype. It's what they love.
You sprinkle some soy sauce over the top of your fish. And then you put red pepper flakes, like the kind you put on pizza.
Shelley bakes up her fish,
A little bit of red pepper flakes.
while Holly prefers hot oil.
Oh, those are looking pretty now.
That's good stuff. That is good. That is really good.
Now you got him. I got room down here.
So next time you're on the ice and happen to run into a lady in red,
Okay, now we have two kinds of fish. Come on.
Yeah, that's a soy sauce pepper flakes.
pay attention. You might just learn a little something.
Yeah, just keep passing them. All right. Oh, I see.
It was awesome and great to be with these women who love to fish like I do.
At the very least, you'll get outfished 10-1. Still ahead,
Oh, look at that money fish right there.
we check out the fishing report from Lake of the Woods and
Hi, I'm Chip Leer.
find out how your ice fishing gear might help you next summer.
Due North Outdoors is brought to you by Otter Outdoors, Aquaview Underwater Cameras, and by Northland Tackle. Check your compass. It's time for the Due North Road Trip. Brought to you by McCarthy Buick GMC in Coon Rapids.
Whoa! Alarm clocks chime early up at a place called Ballards. After ice up, ice anglers climb into Ballards' warm bombers and head out onto the Lake of the Woods. It's a frozen 950,000 acres known for some of North America's best ice fishing. Ballard sets up guests in dozens of heated ice shacks where the fish tend to bite best, get this, during daylight hours. How often does that happen? Plan on hooking walleyes, saugers, even a few giant perch. Now, most weeks, somebody in the group will land a trophy. At night, you head back to the lodge for dinner and drinks, and then plan on watching the hockey game. Ballards is that kind of place. Just don't forget to set your alarm, because morning comes early, and at Ballards, they expect you to be back in the bomber first thing for more fishing.
Today's Due North Insider is presented by Rapid Marine.
Hi, I'm Chip Leer, and as a Minnesotan, I have to laugh at myself because I actually have a winter tackle box and I've got a summer tackle box. Like the fish really know the difference. They don't know the difference. And one of the growing trends in the fishing industry, used by guides and tournament pros, and you've maybe even seen it a little bit on TV, is there's a lot of guys adapting their winter jigging lures to open water. You know, we've always had standard round ball jigs for vertical jigging for walleyes or for bass, but now these guys are using spoons that they normally were developed for vertical jigging in the wintertime, we're using in the summer. Or big swimming lures like a puppet minnow like this that you drop down, you lift, and it glides back and forth. Airplane type motions like that. That, and of course, old standards like a vibrating blade bait like this live forage here from Northland Fish Tackle is a prime example. But it isn't just the larger lures for walleyes and bass. Panfish can be key. Those small little jigs, think about a tough bite in the summer. What a better thing to put in front of a finicky panfish than a small little slug bug, bro bug, or at least a piece of lead with plastic combination. Those trigger them in the winter when they're the most sluggish at any time of the year. Why won't it work in summer?
So when you head to the lake, don't forget to take your ice fishing tackle box with you. Although you can probably leave these in the fish house.
We love the smell of the race fuel.
Straight ahead, we take the snowmobile race scene back 40 years. You're watching Due North Outdoors.
Check your compass. It's time for the Due North Classic.
With all the high-tech gear and the lightning-fast sleds, we decided to back off and slow things down a bit. Think of it as a ride down memory lane.
Old snowmobiles are like old snowflakes. They may look alike, but they aren't.
How you guys doing today? You got those sleds dialed in?
It's race day for the Vintage Snowmobile Racing Association. Yes, vintage, as in aged.
Take an old piece of junk from out back and bring it home and polish it up and go through it all, and kind of turns into their pride and joy, and they bring it out here and race it. A lot of people really like to do that out here.
Soon it is race time.
We got heats today for the 40 plus and the kids. We had a huge turnout today, which is awesome. We're going to have heats for those two classes. All right, get them on the line there. All right, here we go. Going into our first turn. All right, they're keeping it clean.
One heat ends and another begins. Round and round they go.
All right, look at that on the back stretch.
And the crowd seems to love every lap.
It's a little bit loud, yeah. It's a little hard on the ears. Get used to it after a while, though. We love the smell of the race fuel.
Race gas in the morning, nothing better, right?
We run these events, these races, and we donate all the proceeds to charity.
40 plus heats.
Pete is our founder. He's the mastermind behind everything. He was a racer, and he wanted to bring the events closer to home. It's really grown. Our first race, I think we had 50 entries, and now we're to about 150 snowmobiles. You all set there?
Old snowmobiles, they say, run better in bitter cold temps. And it was that this day. Turns out, racing isn't the only cold event held here on the lake.
Following these great races today, we also have the Arctic Plunge. That is also a non-profit organization that was started after 9/11.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 9th annual Arctic Plunge on Long Lake in Isanti.
What happens is Kenny England, who's my father, has an old-time ice saw from the early 1900s that his father built. And they will saw a large hole in the ice, and then there's probably 100, 150 crazy people that'll take sponsorships and donations, and then they pay to jump in ice.
The jumpers pay for their ice water shock. Proceeds go to area fire departments. All thanks to a fella named Kenny England, the man responsible for the jump hole.
My father started cutting ice many years ago, and he quit about in 1990 or so. And my brother restored the saw machine, and we started doing it for fun in about 2000.
Kenny seemed to enjoy making a jump site that would make so many goosebumps in an instant.
Oh yeah, we'll do her next year if I'm still around.
One by foolish one, some jumpers, dressed up for the occasion, take their polar plunge into an icy shock.
Everything went good. I think they're crazy to jump in.
Let's just say Kenny's had a long day. Snowmobile races, crowds, saw on ice for a polar plunge. Has he ever taken part?
No, I never did jump in. No, that ain't for me.
You know, it would actually be pretty cool to have one of those old machines, just for a little putzing around on the weekends.
Old machine putzing? That describes it pretty well. Well, unfortunately, we're out of time.
Thank goodness.
Remember, until next week, take the time to introduce someone new to the great outdoors.